Guys, I might have found the new DPS king this season, and I promise you it's something no one expected. This build kind of blew my mind when I was testing it out. As you can see in the background, this is my run against the big ogre. This build gives you infinite dodges, knives and grenades, all thanks to Ahamkara's spine and a couple of well placed mods that I'm gonna show you in 1 second. What's really great about this build is that we are going to pair this up with a demolitionist rocket launcher, which will get reloaded every time we throw a grenade. To top this off, we are going to throw in Wither Horde for that extra bit of passive damage. Keep in mind, I also could have used my super for another 400 to 600,000 damage. So you guys get an idea of how strong this build is. I'll compare it to the new broken linear fusion rifle Storm Chaser, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it all over YouTube as everyone has been posting videos about it. Storm Chaser with the exact same setup hits for 31,000 per headshot. This means that if you manage to hit all headshots on it, you'll end up doing a little bit over 2 million damage. Realistically speaking, you'll probably end up doing somewhere around 1.5 million damage, if not less, because pretty much no one can hit every single headshot on a boss. Meaning this combo already outdamages Storm Chaser. Before I get into the build, I really recommend that you guys join my Discord server, as you will find all my builds there in one nice channel as well as an LFG community to play with. I personally always need people to test builds and damage numbers with, so if any one of you is interested in helping me out with some videos, then join up the community. Without further ado, let me get into the build and explain how this whole rotation works. I recommend you guys watch the whole video as every mod and aspect in this build is very important. Let's talk about Ahamkara's spine. It increases your tripmine grenade duration and blast radius. It also gives you grenade energy back whenever you hit a target with an ability. In our case, it's going to be our throwing knives. Keep in mind that you also get grenade energy from the tripmine explosion itself, meaning that throwing your grenade and hitting something will already give you grenade energy back. There's one more hidden perk that's not explained in the description, which is that you're also not going to take damage from your own tripmine grenades when they explode. Ahamkara's spine seems like a very solid exotic for ad clear and dealing with easier enemies. However, what no one knows is that this exotic can be top tier when it comes to boss damage when built right. I'm going to show you all the fragments as well as mods now, and then later I'll explain how the whole rotation works. Stat wise, having 100 mobility is a must with this build, because this is going to allow our dodge to come up a lot faster. Meaning you want to prioritize mobility, resilience and then discipline and strength. Now recovery is really not needed in this build, simply because you are going to have classy restoration on you pretty much permanently. Ability wise, we are going to be using Gambler's Dodge just to give us that melee back whenever we dodge. Then for our melee, we are going to be using Knife Trick. This is going to apply the Scorch effect on our targets, which is going to in return help us to get our class ability, which is our dodge, a lot faster. And then finally, because we are using a Ahamkara spine, we do need to be using our tripmine grenades. For aspects, we are using Knock and Down. Now this is mainly to empower our super, as well as give us our throwing knives whenever we kill an enemy with our melee. For our second aspect, we are using On Your Mark. We are mainly using this for the fragment slots that it provides. However, the handling and reload speed buff, it's also very nice to have. Especially because we are going to be dodging 24/7 with this build, meaning we are always gonna have 3 stacks of it at all time. Fragment wise, we are starting with Ember of Torches, and this is going to make us radiant whenever we hit an enemy with our knives. Next up, we have Ember of Empyrean. Now this is going to be extending the duration of restoration and radiant buffs on us whenever we kill a target with a solar weapon or an ability. As for our third fragment, we are using Ember of Eruption. Now this is going to increase the area of effect of our ignitions. Now because we are going to be igniting enemies left and right, this is very nice to have. Next up, we have Ember of Singeing, and this is the bread and butter of this build. This fragment is what's going to be giving you your dodge back so much quicker. This fragment allows for your dodge to recharge faster whenever you scorch targets. In our case, we are constantly going to be scorching targets with our melee. Meaning every time you throw a melee, this is going to kick in and it's going to give you that extra regeneration on your dodge. Now the beauty about this is that you don't even have to constantly scorch a target for this to work. Even when you kill a target with your melee, this fragment is still going to be working. And finally, we are using Ember of Ashes, which is going to allow us to apply more scorch stacks to the target. Now thanks to this we are going to be proccing Ignition a lot more often, and who doesn't want free damage? Starting up with our helmet, we are going to be running Powerful Friends on it, and this is simply because it gives us that nice 20 mobility, which is much needed when playing this build. Pair this up with a hands-on mod, which is going to allow your super to charge up a lot faster. For our gauntlets, as mentioned before, we are going to be using Young Ahamkara Spine. Now this combined with High Energy Fire is going to give us that nice 20% damage buff to all our weapons, pretty much 24/7. Now why I say 24/7 is because we are not going to be killing adds with our weapons. We are mainly going to be killing adds with our melee and grenades. The next two mods are very important for this build. We are using Focusing Strike and Bolstering Detonation as a way to get our dodge as fast as possible. This gives us class ability energy whenever we cause damage with a melee attack as well as a grenade. Because we are constantly going to be throwing melees and grenades at our enemies with this build, this is going to be giving us our dodge back very frequently. Now these two mods stack with each other, however each one of them has an internal cooldown between how often you can proc the mod. From my testing, that's around a 6-second cooldown. For our chest armor, we are going to be using Melee Wellmaker, and that's simply because we are constantly killing enemies with our melee, so it might as well create us a couple of solar wells. This combined with a resistant mod of your choice. As for our boots, we are going to be using Elemental Charge. Now thanks to this, we are going to become charged with light whenever we pick up a elemental well. We are using this to feed our High Energy Fire in this build. Then I like to run a Rocket Launcher Scavenger simply because it gives you that extra rocket whenever you pick up the heavy brick. Finally, we are using Classy Restoration on our clock, which everyone knows how broken this mod is this season, so we might as well be using it. Now we are constantly going to be dodging left and right, meaning this is going to be up on us 24/7. Combine that with an utility Kickstar, simply because it gives us that extra dodge back whenever we use it, and you know how important your dodge is with this build. Weapon wise, you want to stick with rocket launchers that have Demolitionist combined with a damage perk like Vorpal or Cluster Bomb. Now I unfortunately don't have that, so I'm using Clown Cartridge. You can also use Explosive Light if your teammates are making Orbs of Power, however the most important thing by far is the Demolitionist perk. The new rocket launcher from the event is craftable and it does have Demolitionist on it, meaning you can easily craft it with perks like Demolitionist and Vorpal on it. I also like to combine this with the Wither Horde, and that's simply because it gives you that extra bit of passive damage. For your last weapon slot, you can use whatever you like. I recommend weapons with the Incandescent perk, as those are really strong this season and they synergize really well with this build. Now that you've seen how everything works together, I'm going to show you how to play this build properly. For adds and easier enemies, you can use YOLO and spam melees and grenades left and right, as well as use your primary weapon. Your dodge will always be off cooldown, meaning you will always have Classy Restoration on you and you'll be very hard to kill. Now when it comes to damaging tougher enemies like bosses, this is the rotation you want to go with. You are first going to use your rocket launcher, followed by your grenade, and then another rocket. Then you will throw your melee and dodge instantly, followed by another grenade and then another rocket. After that, you just keep repeating the rotation, using your melee, grenade, rocket and dodge accordingly to pump out as much damage as possible. Keep in mind that Demolitionist does have a 3-second cooldown between uses, meaning there are times where it won't reload your weapon once you throw your grenade. This is not an easy rotation, but once you get used to it, it'll become second nature. This is as good as it gets for Ahamkara's Spine. I don't think I could have come up with anything better than this. The next Hunter video will most likely be an Assassin's Cowl one, and I'll try to perfect it just like I did with this exotic. Make sure you stick around for it. And this concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to sub, like and comment. It really means a lot to me, guys. As I mentioned before, don't forget to join the Discord server, and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video.